Republican Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi has written a letter to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, urging her to reconsider a proposed plan to convert a warehouse in his state into an ICE detention facility. The Trump administration has moved to purchase industrial buildings in at least 8 states in order to build more detention centers. In his letter to Noem, Senator Wicker says the proposed conversion raises serious feasibility concerns. He argues the existing medical and human services infrastructure in that area is, quote, insufficient to support such a large detainee population. Establishing a detention center at this site would place significant strain on local resources. This is something lawmakers are grappling with throughout the country. To that end, bringing Democratic Congressman Greg Stanton of Arizona. He also served as the mayor of Phoenix from 2012 to 2018. So you understand this balancing between local officials and state officials. And when you see that DHS is trying to purchase places for detainee populations, not just in Mississippi, but also in the Phoenix area, I mean, what do you see in the way that lawmakers, Republicans too, are responding, saying, no, we don't want this here. And also, it's not going to be safe for what you're trying to do with it.
Senator Wicker is doing the right thing by asking these tough questions. I know it's difficult for a Republican to challenge the Trump administration policy in this regard. But they also are trying to do a similar facility in my area, in the Phoenix area. And they're wrong. And let me tell you exactly why. They're trying to put a 1,500-bed detention facility in a light industrial building not built for this. There are serious life safety issues. Are there enough emergency exits? Do you have sprinklering systems? What about the air systems? It's not built for that. We have zoning for a reason. We actually have building inspectors for a reason. Right. So they're putting 1,500 souls at a time in a very dangerous position. In addition, they didn't talk to the local city. They did it secretly. They bought the building and are going to use it for this purchase without having a single conversation with the mayor or city council, the nearby school district. It's in the middle of a neighborhood in a Phoenix suburb, so it's wrong in that regard. But here's what it's also wrong. You can only utilize this if you're going to continue with these mass deportation policies at a time that we've seen what a disaster it's been in Minneapolis. These poorly trained ICE agents roving the streets. They're not trained in police work. They barely have any training, especially compared to local police officers. It directly resulted in the deaths of 2 of our fellow citizens in Minneapolis. And now they want to do this all over the country. Yeah. I think the American people are sick and tired of how DHS is operating. Kristi Noem needs to be fired. She is incompetent for this position. We saw it with her response to she oversees FEMA, with the response to the flooding in Texas with Camp Mystic and the amount of death there. She responded horribly there. She doesn't know how to manage a department of this size and magnitude and ensure the proper training, and it's resulting in terrible impacts on the American people.
And I was reading last night, Leader Jeffries in the House, of course, and Senator Schumer both put out their list of things that they need to see in these ongoing DHS funding negotiations. And among them, they make the point that Kristi Noem being ousted from her job, whether she quits or whether Trump fires her, is something that they and other Democrats would like to see. You know, I look at the timeline, though, and I've had several of your colleagues say to me, well, you know, a handful of days to negotiate an issue as complex and emotional as this is not going to be enough. And so are you of the mind that 7 days from now, 8 days from now, we are in a shutdown?
Complex. All the requests are so reasonable. If you're going to act as a roving police department in the streets of America, could you at least be trained to the level of local police departments? I was a big city mayor. We had significant training requirements before a police officer could go out on the street. You have a deadly weapon. You're interacting with the public. Take off that mask. Local police departments don't have masks on their officers. Use body cameras. That's standard operating procedure for any police department in the country. And make sure that cameras are on. What's your use of force policy? You have standard use of force policies that they could adopt, but you can't hire these people off the street, give them barely any training, and then have them roam American streets with a deadly weapon.
Offer them bonuses for doing more.
It's crazy. And so, yes, this actually is fairly simple. If you're going to operate like police officers, then be trained and have the professional standards of police officers. That's what the American people expect. That's bipartisan and shouldn't be controversial.
I think it's the politics that the administration brings to it, right? Like the way that they are doubling down in the aftermath of both shootings that we saw on the ground in Minneapolis. And ultimately, we know the president moves votes in the House. Reluctant Republicans who I never thought would vote for certain things have been voting for certain things because of the president. Yeah. So I think that's where the complexity potentially is, and we'll stay talking about this.
But the American people are speaking loudly, bipartisan way. They are frustrated and angry with how this administration is administering this policy. They want us to go in a more targeted direction when it comes to immigration enforcement, not mass deportation.
Yeah, I think the policy and the polling, frankly, are married on this one. It's an opportunity for some Republicans to potentially get something. I mean, what is your level of optimism?
Look, if they dig in their heels and don't act in a responsible, reasonable way, this is going to be a challenging policy, but we are going to fight for this. This is what the American people, Republicans and Democrats, are demanding. They don't want to see this horrific things that they've seen in Minneapolis, the death of our two fellow citizens, the untrained roving officers and agents out there. They want it operated in a professional way, and that's all that we are demanding. It's what the American people expect.
Congressman, I thank you for coming on. I also know that you are closely watching the situation with Savannah Guthrie's mother, that ongoing search there. And I know that your thoughts and your pleas are with the community to please, if they know anything, please say.
Have to. Look, Nancy Guthrie is a woman of faith. Savannah Guthrie is a woman of faith. We're so proud of her. She's a local person from Arizona who's done incredible work in journalism. And we are praying hard for the safe return of Nancy Guthrie.
I know all of us here are as well. And again, that number's on the screen if anyone knows anything. Democratic Congressman Greg Stanton of Arizona, thank you for coming on.